I am Oscar. Nice to be back. Uh, right now, I am in downtown Miami, actually by Bayside, and I feel inspired to talk about one of the biggest hurdles that I've had through my awakening and consciousness and my journey thus far. And that's going to be isolation. Isolation and being by yourself in your spiritual path. Now, it's one of those things that, it's very personal because when you first start your conscious journey or your conscious awakening, spiritual awakening, you know, your increase in awareness and all these, the different things that, that's happening to you. Most people first start with contemplation and, they're always thinking, what's going on and always questioning the reality. And after this stage, or actually sometimes during the stage, it becomes really lonely because you're asking yourself all these questions that you see other people that are not asking themselves those questions, So you kind of feel like that lone wolf, and I've always been, how do you say, by myself, and I tried to keep, to myself throughout my life, throughout school, because I always just ask myself these questions that I felt that were too personal to share and kind of, break the barrier of society, and finally now I'm preparing myself to be the exception and not the rule, so that I can, pierce through the already present, circumstances with the truth that I believe, to share my truth genuinely, authentically, and just like each and every other person should do, because it's your truth, and whatever you're experiencing, you need to share out with the world. So that's the main thing that has been going with me throughout my journey, and also I feel like it could help for me to just, share my experience and my advice to anybody seeking and having trouble with this process of, awakening and expanding your consciousness. So for me, it all started with, contemplating to myself and what I was here to do, what was my life purpose, and when would I find it. So this led me down a path of, researching, meditating, intuitively getting signs, synchronicities by the universe, angels, spirit guides, extraterrestrials, whatever you guys want to call it. I have my guides and things that I believe in that are helping me and assisting me throughout my life. But, it's one of those things that you kind of have to open yourself up to, so that you're not so skeptical and, rigid-minded when it comes to these things, because, many people do believe there's a God, and you can call it God or, all that is the infinite creator. But we are part of something much bigger than ourselves, I believe. And so, taking that into consideration, we should never feel separation. We should always feel connected. And when asking these questions, just know that there's something out there, and don't feel like you're alone. There's many, many, things supporting you throughout your life and guiding you in the right direction. There's more than, your life than what meets the eye. Most people think we just have, regular, dull life, go to college, find your job, just live to make money, have a family, and that's it, right? No. There's much more than just that to our life, We might want to make it as simple as that, but it can actually be simple, if you just break it down, as I'm attempting to do for the YouTube community, my own way. You kind of just have to break these parts, and you have to break different parts of your mind down so that you can actually be open to, receiving this new knowledge that everyone else told you that was a lie. But going back to the main topic, isolation and being by yourself in this time in your journey, I think it's very important. It is very important because many people, with their opinions, they bog you down. Some people might insult you, they might criticize you, they might tell you that, you're wrong for the way you're thinking, that the way you're thinking is too big, too crazy, and, too unconventional for mainstream, or, and it's just one of those things that you really have to be strong. You really have to make yourself like rock solid when it comes to people penetrating your personal bubble. Keep your personal bubble important to yourself. don't let anybody just come in and affect you emotionally, because that's something that a lot of us are sensitive to. We all are sensitive to emotions, and people with their remarks, especially people we care about, like our friends and family, they say things to us, in regards to what we're going through, like if they know what's going on with us, and you don't have to get mad about that because it's not their fault. All they can talk and say and give you advice to is what they know about, That's all they can do. All they can do is try. And sometimes, a lot of people have an ego, so their ego will literally put you down and tell that you're wrong and make you, get depressed and anxious because things are not going the way you want in life. But that's our reality. And most of the people that are around us, they're not, conscious of that. They're living their lives, and that's not necessarily their purpose. I made a video yesterday, by the way, and I just posted it today, that has to do with, purpose. Everyone has a different purpose and a different specific energy pattern that they come down here with, and they're living their lives. So just because, let's say, your parents are very, closed-minded and have no interest in becoming spiritual at all or expand their mind whatsoever, don't blame them. Just put them aside. Just know that they're on their journey. They're on their journey, going through their challenges, overcoming their hurdles, and growing their soul in their own way. So, sometimes we don't see that because we're busy hearing and feeling what they're telling us, and it sucks. We're just like, damn, why can't anyone support me? And that's how I felt. I felt like I had no one to support me in my spiritual awakening. I was by myself, and I know much of you do feel by yourself and you have no one to talk to, but it's all a process, and that's what I love about it. I love how even if you think that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, just know that if you want it bad enough, and you spread love and kindness and wisdom, and you actually do the inner work within yourself, becoming a more loving person, and wise and learning about reality, questioning reality, connecting with your intuition, feeling what's genuinely true in life, coming from a very unbiased perspective. That's one of my main things that, listening to many people on YouTube, and one of my mentors that helped me a lot during my, awakening and process and my journey was, his name is Bentinho Massaro, and man, the way he put things into perspective when it comes to us being connected to everything. And he said in one of his videos that, we need to create ourselves like a powerhouse, And the more inner work you do, the more confidence, the more I am, you tell yourself, I am, basically an extension of everything. You're an extension of, God, all that is. You're an extension of, this great, enormous, power and presence. And you're part of that. You're a part of that in your own unique way, and you come down here to express that. And I love that. I love that idea because, once you start doing meditation or, just contemplating and telling yourself, positive affirmations or, words and writing things down and, opening yourself up to this new experience, being fearless, you really start to feel powerful, really powerful, and feel that you are all that. And you can accomplish all you put your mind to, which you can, So, yeah, I feel like it's going back to the topic again, sorry for going off topic, but I try to make my videos not too, right to the point, but I like to go off topic and just talk with you guys because at the end of the day, I want to make this, a community for spiritual seekers and available for anybody that needs guidance and support and is just going through something and they don't know what the heck to do. So my purpose that I've found and felt is that I'm here to spread awareness, to increase the conscious communication there is in the world. A lot of people out there, they're not authentic. They don't tell people what they feel, and I feel like I'm very blunt, and I will tell you to your face exactly what I read about you, what I feel about you energetically, or whatever it may be. If I care about you and I want to help you, or if you ask for my help, I would be more than happy to. But yeah, isolation and being lonely in the spiritual path, it will take part, unless you're already by a bunch of loving people that understand you and are spiritual, and you've already manifested that for yourself in your life, in your circumstance, and you're happy and you can share with them, that's awesome. Or you have a lot of spiritual places you could go to do meditation and connect with people, that is, power to you. That is amazing. But you know, the situation I was in, I had no one around me. You know, my history, you know, before who I was, before, you know, the ego death, you could call it, in your journey. I know a lot of you have, I'll make a video about that too, that it kind of just changes who you are, you know, it brings you to your true self, you know, your true higher self. That's who you are, not the whole ego that you made throughout your entire life. You know, I'm this, I'm popular. No. You know, there's so much more to you. You're so genuine and loving inside, and it's really deep inside, and you gotta let it out. But, so yeah, when you're lonely in this path, and you have no one to talk to, you know, take your time. And, you know, tell people in their face with loving, you know, compassion. Tell them, hey, you know, I don't appreciate you, you know, putting me down with what I'm going through. You don't know what I'm going through, so please give me some space to experience what I'm experiencing for myself, you know. Or if you can, if it's your friends, for example, you know, that was an example for your parents, but if it's your friends, you know, put them aside. You know, this is your journey, your growth, and the ones that are there for you and supporting you, right? You know, then keep them there because they're part of your path. But if you know that there's some that you don't need to have in your life, you know, unfortunately, you're gonna have to cut them out. You know, or do what your, you know, intuitively your heart tells you, or your intuition tells you. You know, if you feel like you shouldn't leave them behind, don't leave them behind. But if you think that it will better your growth as a person and as a soul, then go right ahead and, you know, find your space. And as you go through this inner journey and you're by yourself, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is personal development. Oh my goodness, you will be like a sponge. When you're first undergoing this process, you will literally be a sponge, absorbing information, all that you learn. You will be feeling new energies around you, hearing things, seeing things that you can never have anticipated before. You know, some people call it supernatural, paranormal. You know, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening to you, and it's because you're increasing your awareness and you're energetically opening yourself up to, you know, all these, you know, these different, you could call it, you know, these different aspects, you know, aspects or facets of our reality that are available to us. But, you know, unfortunately, sorry about that. There's a train passing by, so I hope you guys can still hear me and it's not too loud. But I was already getting to the, you know, the end of my video anyways. So I just want to leave it off. I don't want to make it too long for you guys. But again, have people respect your isolation. This is your journey, and you have a lot to uncover. You have a lot of truth to witness for yourself, and, you know, appreciate that. Love yourself. Learn to love yourself and learn how to be alone and not have to worry. You know, I'm by myself here and I enjoy this time. This is me time where I can express and think about where I'm going in life and what I want to do. So, you know, work on developing yourself, you know, even if you're by yourself, and really becoming powerful and knowing that you are capable of achieving, you know, your desires. You know, sometimes you may not be able to achieve all your desires, but just know that since you came here already predestined to achieve or experience certain things, you will, you know, achieve, learn those things most of the time if you're willing to work with, you know, the universe and all that is. But, you know, power to you. You've got this, and I'll see you in my next video.